This is not us making this up. This is actual reporting of Jerry Jones talking about being a general manager. I've done it all, okay? So I have an inordinate amount of confidence that, if anybody can figure out how to get this shit done, I can figure out how to get it done, John said. I've been there every which way from Sunday. And have I busted my ass a bunch? A bunch. And there's nobody living that out cutting and out shooting that can give you a bunch of times they busted their ass. So hell no. There's nobody that could fucking come in here and do all the contracts and be a GM any better than I can. Now, Jerry, congrats on talking your shit.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Think about the decades and decades of the people and fans saying Jerry needs to get his hands out of the team's business. Ever since Jerry has started running things, we haven't been good. He got rid of Jimmy, and then nobody's able to check Jerry. And Jerry's just got his little fingers and everything. He's making decisions. He's drafting from the yacht. He's cutting people. He's negotiating deals. He's calling plays sometimes. Shit, he will get out there and throw the ball himself if he wants to. That is what people say. That's why the Cowboys haven't been good. So if this is a new interview or if this is Clarence Hill Jr. writing about something that happened back in the day, it's like, shout out to Jerry Jones just finally telling everybody, hey, eat shit. Just want to let you know that. AJ, how do you feel?
Eat shit, everybody. That's Jerry Jones's mantra. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. There's a lot of people out here who are pissed the hell off about the Dallas Cowboys, and I can't honestly say I blame them. I can't say I blame them. Now, I have hopes that maybe Brian Schottenheimer will be a good coach, but the Cowboys have already undermined him by literally saying we're going to hire him and then looking at everybody else still and then, doing a Friday night dump and letting us know then that we're bringing in Brian Schottenheimer. So we've got our channel members. If you are a channel member, if you go to the community tab, the link is there. And don't forget about BetUS. Get your bet on with BetUS. Use the promo code YouTube150 so you can get 150% matching on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. If you do crypto, that's up to 200%. So bet responsibly and don't bet on the Dallas Cowboys. So let me get our esteemed panel here. And we have a commander in the house with the left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. What's up, good people? How y'all feeling?
Oh, pretty good.
Pissed.
Oh, I know you're feeling good, Momo.
Not good. I'm pissed.
God.
But I called it Eberflus's DC, I guess he is.
This is the worst I felt for the Cowboys since the Champ Gailey days. That's how bad.
Yes.
I was thinking Campo. Yeah.
I mean,
this may be the Dave Campo years, 5-11, 5-11, 5-11. You know, this is where I kind of almost find it funny. I'm sorry, I'm not looking. You guys, I'm looking at you on the screen over here, so I'm sorry. I'm not looking directly at you, and maybe I should change up the camera angle. But this is, I remember listening to Walker Wade, and I wish Wade was in here because, here's Leo. Fuck.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Don't let him in. Don't let him in.
This is our time right now. But, listening to Walker Wade, and I'm talking about, 12-5, at least we've been 12-5 in a playoff team. And they're like, we're the Cowboys. We have standards, That's not good enough for us. Okay. So is this better? Is this better?
Probably our only option at this point. I mean, who else is out there?
This is like him giving us a eulogy of the Cowboys. I mean, that's how bad it is. I mean, we get rid of Al Harris.
Mike Zimmer.
Zimmer's gone. We hired another bum from the Bears. I don't even know who this guy is.
Okay, now I will say Eberflus. Okay,
Eberflus was with us.
He was with us, and he was actually the linebackers coach with D. Ware and Anthony Spencer. And he also transitioned us from Rob Ryan's 3-4 defense to the 4-3. So he does have experience. Now, I will say that not everybody who is a coordinator becomes a good coach.
True.
Because, see, I think, and this is where this may be where you can have some hope, because how many times we heard about a hot coordinator and they go to become a head coach and they suck? I can think of Robert Saleh didn't do a great job per se with the Jets. I know people say it's the Jets, but then you can look at Mike McDaniels, who was that hot coordinator, offensive coordinator, goes to Miami. They get Tyreek Hill. They get Jalen Ramsey. They've got all kinds of weapons galore, and they can't win. but he was the hot coordinator. So for all we know, Ben Johnson, going to the Bears, that might not work out. Aaron Glenn going to the Jets, that might not work out. And we may be looking at those guys and saying, who are these bums that were hired as head coaches?
Yeah, but my thing is, Shotty, he's been in the league for what, 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just now getting a head coach. I mean, if he was any kind of a good coach, then why does it take 20 years for him to get a head coaching job? 20 years.
You may not have had the opportunities because, so here's where I'll say the knock on him is they're using Jacksonville against him. That's what they're beating him over the head with, okay? And I can get that the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple of years ago didn't do shit, but he had Urban Meyer as the head coach.
Yeah,
Urban Meyer
true.
was so over his head, and literally the team gave up on him. I don't know that anybody would have made a difference. So you could put North Turner on that team, and I don't think it would have made a difference. But what I will say is when he was offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks in their waning days with Russell Wilson had 42 TDs. 4,200 yards, 13 interceptions, and they ran the ball 1,900 yards. And I will say, if they can do that with the Cowboys, because you got to remember, he was here in part of what Dak did 2 years ago, runner-up MVP. I think they can replicate that or maybe even do it a little more. And he's more run-centric than Mike McCarthy is. So
I just want to know, how's the locker room going to accept him?
Well, that's another story.
I imagine they may.
I mean, we already know Dak gave him praise, but I mean, I wonder how Micah Parsons is feeling right now. He's probably
Micah probably didn't really.
Well, actually, I'm going to say this. If you're Micah Parsons, you might want to be excited. Because when he was the linebacker coach, Sean Lee had his best year ever. And that was a shame that he couldn't stay healthy. But DeMarcus Ware had 19 and a half sacks. And Anthony Spencer, I believe, had 11 or 12. And they were one of the few teams in forever that had two guys in the same season that had double-digit sacks. So he understands the importance of linebackers, which may be a good thing for us. And he has been that guy that's been with the Cowboys. I actually feel better about that hire than I do Brian Schottenheimer.
The rumor is that D-Ware might be coming in.
Well, that's where all this kind of you've got to realize this now, because D-Ware knows him extensively. He knows him really well. So that dynamic would probably be there that you would bring into DeMarcus Ware. Now, it's interesting, though, when you bring up Micah, because D-Ware's kind of said a few things about Micah, kind of throwing shade on him with the podcast, as well as being a team leader, especially early in this year, and him saying that he wants to bring in a family environment where the focus is playing on the field. You won't have time to do a podcast because it's going to be about getting to the quarterback.
Well, if they bring in Jason Witten also, where do you think he fits in?
Jason Witten, well, you've lost your quarterback's coach. It looks like you're losing your wide receiver coach. You've lost your offensive coordinator because he's now the head coach. So there's definitely openings there to bring Jason Witten in. Now, I would be kind of leery if I'm Brian Schottenheimer. I'd realize that I'm just a placeholder. I've got a 4-year deal, which is as long as what Dak's got left. So the writing's on the wall that this is, unless I do some really great things, my shit is short term. He's Wade Phillips without the pedigree.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Mark. I'm not even upset that much about the coaching hire. I'm upset at the process. It seems to me they are lazy. They didn't go
without a doubt,
interviewing people, and that to me sends the fans a message. We aren't serious about this. This is our hobby, and you guys care about it more than we do.
That's the truth. They don't care about it. They don't get.
Hey, it's our friend Wade.
I don't know, man. I mean, without us getting any free agents, which we know historically they don't go after free agents. I don't know how this is going to work.
Well, you just hit the nail on the head. It doesn't matter if you bring in Ben Johnson. If you do everything like you do, you end up waiting till the end of the year to sign Micah Parsons. So he's not there for training camp and everything else. If you don't fill in the holes and you bring in guys like Zeke to be your running game, then it doesn't matter if it's Ben Johnson or him or not. It just doesn't. So
Yeah.
Mark,
and for
can I
once,
say something?
no, you can't because you're playing a championship game. But just hold on for a second.
No, I was saying that I was going to say that your head coach was in 2001. He was the quarterback coach for the Washington other team.
Wait a minute, say that again.
Washington, other team. You don't want to say it, do you?
No.
Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're always going to know them as the Redskins.
All right. Well, you know, I got to say that not Brian Schottenheimer. Sean McVay was offensive coordinator for Washington 2 or 3 seasons before he got the head coaching job with the Rams.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can't honestly look at that and say, oh, well, he had great experience and great success.
Exactly.
Right?
I
and
think
Kyle Shanahan was there too, and then went to Atlanta for a year. They went to the Super Bowl and choked, and then he got his gig.
I think, I'll give Schottenheimer a chance. I'll give him this year and maybe next year. If I don't see any improvement, then it's the worst hire we have done.
Well,
Here's my whole thing: is the Jones fan? They're idiots. Okay, think about your Mike Zimmer. The Jones family. You've been a part of the Cowboys for a while. The Jones family passed up Mike Zimmer for oh my gosh,
Eberflus?
No. When Mike Zimmer was a part of the Cowboys,
before
they passed him up for the coach after Jimmy Johnson. I can't believe I forgot his name. Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer.
Barry Switzer.
But the Barry Switzer hire was to prove a point.
Okay, but still, they passed up Mike Zimmer for Barry Switzer, Chan Gailey, Dave Campo, Bill Parcells, and now Schottenheimer. They literally spit in his face. That is, if anyone should have been the head coach, I'm just saying, Mike Zimmer should have been the head coach way before Schottenheimer. Way before Schottenheimer.
Wade, I don't mean to piss on your head here right now, but you've been one of those ones that been screaming we need to blow it up, and I kept saying the people who would blow it up and have to rebuild this thing are the Joneses, the ones that are the problems here. And this is what you get when you say let's blow it up and start over. The Joneses, the thing that mystifies me on this is they don't want anybody else to do the work, right? But they don't put the work in themselves.
So they operate out of comfort. This is a franchise that operates out of comfort. And if what is true, this wasn't Jerry Jones. This was his sons that made this call.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, it
so we can't go in on Jerry Jones on this one. From what I'm hearing, it's all his sons.
Well, yes, you can, because see, you're the one who decided I'm going to make my son the director of the cap, and he's been there doing that shit for 30 years. And who taught him anything? He doesn't know anything about the cap. Here's the problem with the Cowboys is when he literally says it's going to be difficult. It's because he doesn't understand the things that you can do to manipulate the cap. He's a freaking idiot. He doesn't understand. Well, it's going to be it's going to be real tough to sign people here. We got difficulties. How is it?
My whole thing, Mark, is I don't know in what way we could twist this or look at the positive side of this. That is going to. I don't know how anyone could spin this that this is going to be good going forward.
It's not.
I just don't know. There's no way you can spin it or try to look at the bright side. There's nothing good to look at.
Well, they didn't put any effort into hiring a head coach. That's what pisses me off. I mean, they literally just seen him and he's like, oh, there you go. Okay, he's in the building. Let's go ahead and hire him. Yes, they didn't interview anybody. They made a phone call to Deion Sanders. They didn't even try to interview him.
Yeah.
They interviewed Saleh.
I'm just saying, I would have respected it more if they would have got it. Robert Saleh, Zimmer. I mean, anyone else. You just had to get Schottenheimer. You just had to get him. He's not even half the coach his dad was. If we had Marty Schottenheimer in here, I would be excited probably.
I'd take Marty McFly. Anybody.
Okay, but hold on. Hold on. But wait, see, here's the problem. This is what I said. The Joneses have now screwed the pooch on him and made his job impossible. Yeah. But you never know. Okay, you know what? If you looked at me in 2015 and I said I'm going to do YouTube, you know what they told me? Bro, you're too fucking old for YouTube. You don't know how to fucking use a computer. You stutter. You suck, man. You will never make it on YouTube, right? But given an opportunity, I'm not saying I'm a success, but I see you guys are here watching. I see we got a couple hundred people, and I see Stacey White dropping a dime here on us. Truth is, the team is already blown up, and that's where we are. We're blown up, guys. We're blown up. And maybe the whole idea is we're hiring Brian Schottenheimer, and we're tanking, and we're going to try and get Manning in a couple of years.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, the thing is, when you blow up, other teams go all in, then they blow up. Take the L.A. Rams a couple of years ago. They went all in, and, when Jerry interviews, he says, well, there's a price to be paid when you do that. Well, the Rams have come back
the
from
Cowboys
the
all in was 12-5, 12-5, 12-5. That was their all in.
Yeah,
that's the way they viewed it. That's the way they viewed it.
Whoa! Stop! Wait! All in is we're going out there, we're getting some pieces, so we're trying to do everything available.
Me and you know what all in looks like,
okay.
But their all in is totally different from me and
their all in is not all in.
Washington went all in. Okay. Philadelphia went all in.
Yeah, that's not all in.
Shit.
Yes.
I'm going to say
Washington went all in.
Wait. In the whole time that Mike McCarthy was here, name me the biggest thing that they did. Name me one thing. No. To go all in. Just name one thing that they did that says we're all in.
They signed Gilmore and Cooks, who are at the end of their career.
Thank you.
Was Amari Cooper too? Amari Cooper?
No, they got rid of
Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper wasn't even there.
And it's coming out that Mike McCarthy wanted to get rid of Amari Cooper. That's why he left.
I don't know if that's the case or not. But I'm sure if he was working,
Mike McCarthy was getting tired of him missing practices and told Jerry and them, you need to get rid of him.
Well, and that's a thing too, because you're undermining the authority. If he's not showing up to practice and it's okay, then everybody else looks and said, well, Mari doesn't have to show up, then why do I? And we saw that with Zeke Elliott this year. So that is a possibility. But see, that's the things that are allowed to happen when Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones are what they are, where they're hamstringing the coach.
Yeah, Dallas is it's just a boring job to go to. I mean, a lot of these other coaches are probably looking like, I don't want to come here because it's boring, because they got to deal with old Stephen Jones's conservative ass.
Well, look,
and his cheapness.
If you were Robert Saleh,
not the coaches.
I would say it's more toxic than boring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're going to be in trouble. We're in trouble, man. I don't know. We have to hope somehow the Cowboys and the players, somehow they win in spite of the ownership.
Bro.
I don't.
See,
Leo, you need to shut up.
Here's where, you know what, Wade, I'm going to kick you while you're down, bro. I'm going to kick you while you're down. The shit that is going on right now is no different than the shit that's been going on the whole time he's been here. The only reason why we've been 12-5 and been one step, catch no catch away from the NFC Championship game is because the Cowboys lucked the fuck out and ended up getting Tony Romo, who ended up masking a lot of the problems and overcoming a lot of shit, and Dak Prescott. People don't want us to realize this. When we look at the last 5 years and we say, well, we were 12-5, we sucked. We actually overachieved for what the Cowboys did.
Yeah, well,
they got rid of wait. They got rid of Amari Cooper.
The Cowboys have drafted well. They've had some solid players, but they just haven't.
Bro, nobody drafts their way to a Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, they haven't. There hasn't been the extra push to get us to the finish line.
You have to do that. There is no team that you look at and say they drafted their way to the Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers draft really well too. But they're not winning Super Bowls either. And they've had the best quarterback in football,
And
arguably.
here's the thing, and you both know, Mark, you've been watching football a long time, and sometimes you need the ball to roll your way. And when we have been in those situations and did have a good enough team, sometimes the ball didn't roll our way, whether that was a call, whether that was a fumble, whether that was an interception, a muffed field goal on the goal line. Just weird shit has happened sometimes.
You know what? But here's the thing. In the 90s, we drafted really good, didn't we?
Yeah.
But was that enough?
Yeah.
We went out and we got guys like Jay Novacek. We got guys like Nate Newton. We got guys like Charles Haley. We got guys like Deion Sanders.
We signed free agents like Charles Haley.
That's what I just
which made a huge difference on our defense.
And we don't do that kind of thing. We don't do that thing. And the thing is, you see that the Cowboys just don't want to put in the work. They want the credit. And this is why we don't do contracts until the last minute. Jerry says deadlines make deals get done. So you're going to go ahead and just kind of throw this shit together, because it's got to get done tomorrow, and it's fucked up. You have the whole coaching situation. Let's play around and see if Mike McCarthy, signs with us instead of being able to talk to Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn. Y'all screwed the pooch, and I think they got to the point where we talked to Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll's kind of like, yeah, well, I'll get back to you. Deion Sanders, it's not. And it's rumors that Kellen Moore kind of was like, you know what? I don't think that this is it. So you're sitting here going through, talking to all these people, and you're getting no.
No, honestly, if Jerry called Deion and said, "I'll give you $25 million a year to be the coach of the Cowboys," right now, he would leave. He would have left.
You got Stephen Jones there. Stephen Jones is going to pay that.
That's the thing is Stephen was in the way. Steven's in the way.
Stephen would not pay $25 million. I'm getting that right now. Stephen Jones is excited as shit because they got a guy who's never been a head coach before, and he's going to be offensive coordinator. So I ain't got to pay an offensive coordinator.
This is another Jason Garrett all over again.
Let me say this, and I know, but I look at Brian Schottenheimer. He has been, including college, since 1997. He's been with 13 different teams.
He's seen a lot.
That's a lot.
So he's got a lot of experience, which is good.
He was no, hold on. Let's go through it right now. So 2006 to 2011, offensive coordinator for the Jets. Now, I believe that's when the Jets were actually going to AFC Championship games. Am I wrong?
Right about that time.
With Mark Sanchez.
2 years in a row.
Okay.
2 years in a row.
So he has had some success there as the offensive coordinator. He was then with the Rams 2012 to 2014.
Nothing there.
Okay. And 2 years then after that, he was with 3 years with the Seattle Seahawks.
They had some good.
And like I said, that last year he was there, 4,200 yards, Russell Wilson, 42 TDs, 13 interceptions, 1,900 yards rushing.
I think they went to the Super Bowl that year, didn't they?
No, not in 2020. No.
Yeah,
and then
the year before,
here with the Cowboys. So that's where he's been as opposed in the NFL as offensive coordinator. So I don't know where you got 18 teams.
He had beast mode too, though.
I don't see where you got 18 teams.
Let me say this: in 2000, when he left the St. Louis Rams in 2014, he went to college. He went to Georgia. He went to Georgia in 2015. Right. So nobody didn't want him that far in yet, or he felt like he had to move to go to college. We do.
So did Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was a failure at the Jets, went back to USC, and came back to the Seattle Seahawks and went to 2 Super Bowls. Nobody wanted him. Now, the thing that's funny is, I will say that he has had 18 years of experience as an offensive coordinator. If I look at Ben Johnson started, it's the offensive assistant 2012, which carried all the way through to 2017. Okay, he was just basically an offensive assistant for the Miami Dolphins. 2018, he was a wide receiver coach. 2019, Lions quality control. tight end coach the next year, and the year after that, and offensive coordinator 3 years. So how much more experience does he have than Brian Schottenheimer? Because you can look at the Detroit Lions and say, well, they've only been good the last 2 years, right? On a loaded team.
The question you have to ask yourself, is he going to call the plays?
He is.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, he is. That was part of it, that he is going to be the offensive coordinator with us. The positive part I will say is this, and there's not a lot of positives, but the positive is he already knows the organization and Jerry and Stephen Jones. He's been there long enough to know how shit works. He knows the quarterback and the offensive players that you have. So you're going to be able to hit the ground running. You're probably going to change 30% of the play calling, to your style to suit what you're doing, but you're at least going to hit the ground running. If you had hired somebody else, they got to come in, they got to set up their staff, they got to get to know these guys, we got to go ahead, start a new offense, new terminology and everything else. At least you're not behind from that standpoint. On the defensive side,
are they not going to bring in an offensive coordinator then? Or?
Well, he wants to call plays, so I'm sure they're going to.
We're literally going to run the same shit offense we've been running the last 20 years, basically.
But
that's what you're telling me.
But here's the thing: you can look at it and say, from 2 years ago when we got rid of Kellen Moore, we were running basically the same offense, but tweaked it. And you can't look and say what the numbers Dak had that year, that team was awful. Brian Schottenheimer will believe in running the football more than Mike McCarthy.
We're just in a bad situation. We're gonna have new coaching staff. Okay, whatever. Just the fact that we got him he's shitty candidate as a head coach. And then to top things off, we got our quarterback who just had the hamstring ripped off the bone, and he had that leg snapped. So even if the Cowboys do go all in and sign a shitload of free agents and build, what if that goes down? We're in a bad position.
Your quarterback.
I say we draft an emergency quarterback in the draft.
The Cowboys need to draft a quarterback this year in the draft. I'm not saying that this is going to be the guy that's going to replace Dak, but they need to be looking.
Here's what I'm going to say is, what you do to protect your investment is make sure your offensive line is good. You need to find a good offensive line coach, not somebody that you just had on. You need to get a real offensive line coach, and you may need to get a left tackle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Zach Martin's probably going to retire.
That was a non-contact play when he ripped that hamstring. He was throwing the ball.
It was a continuation, and I'm going to say, if you think about Tyron Smith the year before when he tore his off the bone, if you'll remember in practice, Micah Parsons put a move on him where he slammed his leg down in practice trying to cut to get back in there, and it was the next day that he ended up having that thing just roll up like a shade. And I'm betting that it ended up pulling it that day before, and it was a continuation because Dak kind of got a little gimpy earlier in the game when he was running, and then, of course, that sucker just snapped.
We're just in a bad spot. We're blowing up. We got a new coaching staff, and Dak's coming off a major injury. We're in a very vulnerable spot as a franchise right now. A lot of unknowns. A lot of unknowns right now.
Well, the bottom line is this. Brian Schottenheimer can be successful if the Joneses don't do shit like they normally do. If we go through and we dick around and Micah Parsons isn't signed until after training camp, cancel the season. Cancel the season.
Yeah, well, you know they're going to. They're not going to change the way they do it.
Restructuring contracts.
Hey, if they go out and sign free agents and build the team and then sign him after training camp, it doesn't matter to me. You still build the team.
No, wait. Here's the thing. His cap number right now is $21 million. If you do basically the same thing you did with CeeDee Lamb, his cap number went down from 18 to 8. That's $10 million right there. With that $10 million, you could keep Osa and Digazua.
And here's my whole thing.
You follow what I'm saying, right? So if you're actually going to go through and, hey, we're going to get this distraction out of the way. We don't want to have every day that, we're going to trade Micah Parsons. And we want the cash so we can get the player. Then that's a difference in what they're doing. We're going to find out in
2 months, y'all. We got free agency. When free agency hits, if the Cowboys don't do shit, mail it in, call it. The season's over.
They're not going to do anything in free agency. They never do.
Well, if they haven't at least re-signed
they
their
got
own
too many holes
players,
to fill.
if they haven't done something with Osa, Goldston, or Rico, then it's business as usual. It's business as usual.
Because obviously Cowboy is running the show.
Leo, fuck you and your shit-eating grin.
Just expect another 7-10 season. That's what's going to come if they don't do anything.
I mean, they haven't given us a whole lot of hope yet. The coaching hire was
just out of pure love, Mark. How you feeling, man? Are you like you back to 100? Like not, you don't sound like 100%, but you sound better.
What you mean, my voice?
Yeah, like I know you were sick, right?
Well, I lost my voice screaming last Sunday.
yeah.
Okay, I literally from that oh god, because it was Washington one day and then the Eagles back to back to literally it's at least it's one game.
Yeah, but I'm thinking, aside from all of that, because I know what sparked it off. To be quite honest with you, the first couple of days of the week, I felt like I was watching you deteriorate. Like you was getting tired. You just sounded like you was,
bro.
It was getting worse and worse. So I'm glad to see you back out up and about. But just take care of yourself.
You want to know how crazy this shit is? I always get accused. People always say, "But that fucking Mark Holmes, man, he's doing like 10 videos a day, man." And exaggerating.
Right.
Yesterday it was 12. It was 12. 12.
No, wait. These are extraordinary times.
12.
Because your team is giving you reasons to
shit is crazy.
Do these videos. That's one. Number two. And real quick, shout out to Walk Away, Chris May, Loyal, Troy. You know what I'm saying? Good to see y'all. Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying?
Same to you, Leo.
I intentionally didn't say shit to Momo. You know what I'm saying? That ain't until after. I'll talk to you then. But anywho, shots fired.
They're definitely fired.
But anywho, the thing is just seeing everything that you're going through, you know what I'm saying, and what the team itself is doing, be it activity or lack thereof. I felt like I felt like you started to get worse as the week went on. So these are extraordinary times.
You just feel like a rag doll.
I bet you do.
The way, literally, just going through yesterday, or no, sorry. You first heard that, Calvin Watkins is tweeting out and saying that it looks like Brian Schottenheimer is going to expect something on Friday or possibly Thursday to be announced. Then you start hearing about a mystery candidate.
Right.
And it's like our former special teams guy, Rich, I can't remember his last, starts with a B. But you started hearing that. Then you started hearing that Pete Carroll, that Jerry Jones calls Pete Carroll. And it's like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? And then you wake up in the
Kellen
morning.
Moore did his Zoom meeting.
Right. Well,
I was right. Listen, bro, I was right there with you. I was right there with you.
And then you had Kellen Moore is doing a second one with New Orleans. And then you heard that Kellen Moore kind of said thanks, but no thanks to the Cowboys. And then you got up the next morning, and here it is. Pete Carroll is now the head coach of the Raiders. And, it's just like they're just reaching at shit. They're just grabbing at straws. There's no rhyme or reason at anything that they're trying to do. And I think they finally got to the point where we got to just name somebody because we're running out of people to talk about.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Nobody wants this job. That's what we as fans have to understand. Jerry Jones has made this job an impossible job, and nobody who's of their right mind wants it.
Well, it was brilliant of you to bring up what Pat McAfee, he recounts everything that Jerry had said. I thought that was brilliant because it gives you plausible deniability, to be quite honest with you, on some of this shit, because it's interesting. You guys know your season. Think about this. This time a year ago, you were 1 week removed from having lost to the Packers.
Yep, and people were mad because this sucks. This sucks. As Wade said, we're the Cowboys. We have standards. This is not acceptable. I hope Wade, you're enjoying this because this is blowing this shit up, man. And I told you, you're asking the people who literally wanted Johnny Manziel, Connor Cook, and Paxton Lynch to rebuild a team. They cannot do it. Welcome to Loserville.
Yep. And then if you think about tomorrow is literally the living embodiment of ineptness from two organizations, the Giants and the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? You guys got a massive amount of coaches.
Okay, moving on.
Former players.
Okay. Moving on, Leo. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Now shut the fuck up. Okay. Momo, the floor is yours. Go ahead, Momo. This is your chance. Gloat, okay? Because, the guy that I actually used to like is possibly going to the Super Bowl tomorrow.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn, yeah. Momo.
Okay. Here's this what I'm about to say. To me, this is like gravy to me. I don't expect them to win. Okay. I don't care if they win because at the end of the day, money. I fear they go to the Super Bowl. They get blown out. So I don't. At this point, we don't have a good defense. Our offensive line is suspect. So at the end of the day, this is gravy for me. If we win, we win. We lose, we lose. End of the day, I ain't like some of these Washington fans think we gonna win and win and win and win. I'm happy where we at.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, Mean Mug 44.
I've done more than we.
Mark is full of shit. He only cares about people who agree with his dumbish. What?
Say what?
Mean Mug 44 says Mark is full of shit. He only cares about people who agree with his dumbish. I don't agree with that, bro.
Well, then I wouldn't be here.
What the fuck?
Me I wouldn't be here.
What the fuck is that?
I would. Yeah.
You know what? Okay, I tell you what. How many people agree that this was a great move? Best thing that Jerry Jones could do. Get rid of Mike McCarthy. Get rid of Mike Zimmer. Get rid of Dan Quinn. And now we have Brian Schottenheimer. Hey. Okay.
Recipe for a winning.
I would have rather brought Zimmer back as the head coach.
He did the same shit in the 90s.
Wait, Loyal, a couple of weeks ago,
I will say
I asked Mark, wait a minute. So what about the other coaches? And Mark said, bro, we don't have any coaches on contract right now.
Al Harris is
I was
going
like, wait,
to Chicago.
what? And he was like, we have 0 coaches. He was like, it ain't just Mike McCarthy. And the first person I asked about was, well, what about Al Harris?
He's gone to Chicago.
And no. This was a couple of weeks ago, Mark.
Yeah.
And you was like, Leo, 0 coaches. Listen, they could have actually used the Rooney Rule on Al Harris if you all about promoting from within and everything like that.
I don't
they
think
didn't even
they
do
had
that.
Faith as the fans did in Al Harris, though.
Say that again?
Had more faith in him than the front office did.
I would have at least interviewed him to say maybe he could be our defense coordinator.
I would.
I mean, at a minimum. And here's where I'm going to say this is really sad to think about it. The fact that you entertain the idea of Jason Witten being your head coach, but you hadn't even talked to Al Harris, a guy who has seemingly, nobody thought Diggs was going to be as good as he was after his first year. Al Harris comes here, he gets 11 interceptions. Deron Bland, most people didn't know who Deron Bland was. And you've seen him basically take that secondary, the safeties that were journeymen, and make that secondary really, really good. And so that's where I look at it and say, I'm happy for him. I hope that he ends up blowing up and getting the chance to do great things. I hope all of the guys end up having the Dan Quinn effect wherever they go to make the Cowboys look even smaller.
I'm so happy that these are people that I do not have to deal with in that organization. I wish them all well, but I am so happy, and I hope things get even worse for you guys, even though we keep asking, can it get worse?
I don't know.
Jerry's doing a hell of a job.
I just want to say this final point. I just wish they're going to have to change the rule of these coordinators talking while they're in the playoffs. This is ridiculous. They should stop that. There's no way in the world you can focus on a game plan if you haven't interviews.
I think it plays a big factor on how well they play in the games.
Well, hey, I'm an Eagles fan, so you can imagine. If anybody knows about that, look what happened to us. You know what I'm saying?
And you have Kellen Moore that's going out and interviewing right now.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is that Arizona got in trouble for that shit. Remember that, Mark?
Yeah,
they got in trouble. We got an extra draft pick or two because of that.
That's no rule in that. There's no rules to say that you can't interview for a job while you're in the playoffs.
No. Yes, there is. Like
stipulations on when you can talk to them. See, that's where they have to
win. If they're out, you can.
The wild card weekend, you can basically make a call and set up up to a 3-hour interview with the candidate. And see, that was the problem with the Cowboys because we held on to Mike McCarthy for that week. Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn had spoke with Chicago with the Jets and things. They had already done their first interviews with people. And so, the speculation was, the Cowboys were waiting on Glenn. Glenn had already talked to everybody and figured out where he wanted to go. I'm just waiting for us to be out of the playoffs to go ahead and accept the position. That's why Monday and Tuesday, you saw those two guys getting jobs with the Cowboys are sitting here like, wait a minute, we didn't get our chance to interview them because you waited. You waited.
Hold up, Lady Lieber. I didn't hear that. I didn't see that, Lady Lieber. They
and Momo, don't forget, Jonathan Gannon stayed in Arizona when we left.
Okay.
That's how it was that to that level of quote unquote tampering, but they got in trouble for that. So I agree with you on that rule, but to see what's happening here, in terms of there's this dynamic this shift dynamic, it's like the Cowboys and the Commanders have traded places within the division, along with the Giants.
Let's pump the brakes here for a second because here's the amazing thing about the NFL: half of the teams that make the playoffs one year don't the next.
It's true.
Okay. Remember a couple years ago when everybody thought that Daniel Jones and Saquon, they finally arrived? They went to the playoffs. They won a playoff game. And where have they been since then? And the Cowboys, we were more Eagles. You're more the exception than the rule. Same thing with us going, 3 years in a row. We had not had 3 years in a row in the playoffs in the last 30 years. Very few teams have that aren't New England and Kansas City. So
we've gone to the NFC Championship game twice in 3 years.
Okay, you know what? Tell it to somebody.
No, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that as a dig. I'm saying it as in terms of like when you said, like the funniness of this of the way this thing works. You know what I'm saying? Who'd have thunk? Because we were only 3 years removed from having won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but typically what happens is when you think about like Denver going there winning the Super Bowl, they dropped off a cliff. You think about Atlanta, they went to the Super Bowl, they steadily went down the hill. You think about Carolina, that was 15-1. They didn't make the playoffs since then.
You mean Denver after the first or second Super Bowl?
The second one. But typically, you get that peak. It's hard to maintain that. People want what you have, your coaches, your players.
You got to give Denver a pass because like John Elway retired after that second one.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And then not to mention that second go around with Peyton Manning, they were still very competitive. And then when they won that second Super Bowl, or when they won that first Super Bowl with Manning, they fell off a cliff after that.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Hold on, they didn't win the first one with Manning.
No, but like they were still good. They made it to the Super Bowl, but then they were still trying to get there. They were still making the playoffs in contention still.
Yeah, but they were going downhill. My point being is typically when you get up there to the Super Bowl, you usually don't have a lot of staying power.
Well, if you think about let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles for example, when they won the Super Bowl. In the years since they won the Super Bowl, they've gotten rid of their franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? They literally blew up they got rid of their head coach. They lost a massive amount of coordinators. You know what I'm saying? Drafted a new guy, got all new running backs. You see what I'm saying? And there's only right now BG and Lane are the only two people on that team who were from the Super Bowl year.
Can we have our misery here? Can us Cowboys just sit here and cry together and not hear about the freaking Eagles and about the great things that they've done? Seriously?
No, Mark, I'm
You're
not
talking about
right.
what? Oh yeah,
it's a dig. You digging.
I'm not. I get it. All right. I get what you're saying, but that's not. That was not the intent.
Your party is tomorrow. We get it. Your team.
No,
has been the
Mark, it's not my intent. That's not.
That you guys have a chance to go back to the Super Bowl again 2 years after you were just there. I'm happy for you. Now shut
Mark, all right, let me bottom line it. The point I was making with all of that, by saying all that, is that where I think Dallas makes the mistake, or where the problem comes, it really isn't on the field. It's in the front office.
Oh my God! Please, thank you, Captain Obvious. Tell me.
I agree on that part. It's Jerry Jones and Steven the last 30 years messing everything up for our Cowboys.
Bro,
that's the only consistency in the last 30 years.
You don't have that same. You don't have that's where the balance is. It's not on offense and defense. It's the field and the front office. That's where the imbalance is coming from.
You digging again.
I tell you what. Here. Let me tell you the difference. You can take the biggest moves that the Cowboys have done in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
And you guys will do more than that in one single season. Brandon Carr, Greg Hardy, Amari Cooper, Stephon Gilmore, and Brandon Cooks. That's the five biggest things we've done in the last 15 years to improve the team.
3 of them were gotten with draft picks.
Yeah, late round draft picks.
Well, except for Amari.
Except for Amari. But that's it.
Right.
That's since like 2012.
All right, so we're back at the car.
Now, name all the moves you guys did this past year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Okay.
See, you have to understand that the Cowboys, they end up being good enough, top heavy, and getting some great talent. Mm-hmm. But that top heavy talent isn't enough, because you lose one or two, you step down so far. See, New England, think about when they were winning all those Super Bowls. They didn't have a lot of Pro Bowl players because their roster went about 30, 35 deep. They used all these guys. You may only have 15 plays, but I got 15 specialized plays with it. They recognize it's not about having 10 great guys. It's about having a great team that we can absorb a loss here, and here. You guys have gotten to the point where you've got positions. You're almost like the Cowboys of the 90s. Because I go through and I ask people, when you looked at the Cowboys of the 90s, what was the weakest position the Cowboys had?
Yeah, because they talk about the Philadelphia. They talk about Philadelphia's O-line in the same reverence that they talk about Dallas's O-line from the 90s. And to be quite honest with you, being in a bubble, you don't really think about it like that until you hear someone else tell you 4 out of the 5 guys, just like Dallas, 4 out of the 5 guys are going to the Pro Bowl or All Pro and all this other stuff. And they say they always talking about the Dallas Cowboys O-lines of the 90s, the Super Bowl O-lines.
It was incredible. When you think about Kevin Gogan, you think about Nate Newton, you think about Eric Williams, you think about Mark Spiknowski. I mean, we had some maulers. Larry Allen.
We also had amazing coaches, though, too.
And we had amazing coaches.
And Jimmy Johnson said the same thing. You need to have a coach that builds a coaching staff.
Hey, Stoutland University. We turn ugly ducklings into, you know what I'm saying, power players.
In her tail. I first start by taking off like her body. This is the smallest fiber.
Somebody's got something playing in the background, and it's.
Tyler, I think you need to mute.
It's way.
There we go.
Okay. There it was Tyler.
Okay, yeah, you got something loud in the background.
But the way it's all in the same reverence, you know, that the way they talk about our O-lines, you guys are the standard that they're using to make the comparisons. Yeah. And then when you think about the kind of yards that Saquon is putting up, it kind of puts you in that way of thinking, because Emmett was mauling the hell out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay,
2 or 3 yards down the field, bro.
I'm honestly at the point now where because the ownership's so bad that we're going to have to somehow get lucky some way and draft a quarterback that's literally going to be as good as Brady, as good as Mahomes, as good as a Peyton Manning, that can drag our asses to the Super Bowl. That's the only way I think we're going to win a championship. We're going to have to find the next generational Hall of Fame quarterback. That's the only way.
I'm going to still go back to my original premise here. Okay, you put people around Dak Prescott.
We already have.
No, you have not. You have not had a great tight end around him his whole career here. Jason Witten was in the tail end of his career. You have not put a team around him like we had around Troy Aikman.
Mark, 2016 Cowboys were loaded, bro.
Not on the defense, they weren't, bro. Not on the defense. And that year, toe for toe against Aaron Rodgers, 304 yards, 3 TD passes, and literally Aaron Rodgers did Aaron Rodgers.
I understand it's Aaron Rodgers, but that's a legacy game. Look at Daniels. He's in the NFC Championship game.
All right. Well,
Dak had a good enough team that year to go.
Bro, which is harder, to find Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, or find yourself a good wide receiver and a running back? We could have had one. We could have had one this year for $8 million. For $8 million, Derrick Henry would make Dak Prescott a whole lot better.
I'm definitely not trying to say this is Dak's fault this year. This is like beyond his control. I'm not blaming Dak this year. But a couple of those playoff seasons, Dak was small in them. Dak was pretty small. He came up small.
And you know what's amazing is, as I hear about all these great quarterbacks, about Josh Allen. Has Josh Allen been to the Super Bowl?
There's no one on this planet that would draft Dak Prescott before.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Listen to me, because we keep saying it's just the quarterback. I can say Josh Allen is a great quarterback, but have they been to the Super Bowl yet? Maybe they get a chance tomorrow.
What are you going to
How about Lamar Jackson?
So what if Josh wins tomorrow? What are you going to say?
Well, then he finally got there. Then great. Then he finally got there.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question.
That's what I said.
What
thus far,
he's been to back-to-back conference title games.
The problem is here, and still hasn't gotten there. And I can't say that he's not great. Can
my quarterback get to at least one?
Not without a team there too, bro.
We've had teams. Mark, you don't go 12-5.
You do if you overachieve, man.
You can't go 12-5.
You literally went 12-5 without a fucking linebacker and no defensive line. You could not stop the fucking run. Period.
Mark, 2022, we stopped the run. 2022, we held San Fran in check. Dak got outplayed by a rookie quarterback.
Okay, yes, we did. And what did we do?
Okay, that is a legacy game. That's a legacy game.
All right. Well, you know what?
You're supposed to rise up to the occasion.
We will continue to disagree, because here's what I'm going to say. I see San Francisco 49ers with teams that are built way better than we are, and yet they go out and they try and bring in more talent to try and overcome and win the fucking Super Bowl.
What did the Eagles do this offseason?
The Eagles do. Everybody, you keep looking at this and saying, "Oh, we got enough talent." Bullshit. We don't have enough talent. You need to have above and beyond. So when you lose a Tyron Smith and he comes back with a bad wheel, or you end up having Zeke Elliott with the PCL, that we don't go to chop liver.
I want to hear someone's outside opinion who's not a Cowboys fan. Leo, 2022 season, Leo, you saw that playoff game with the 49ers and the Cowboys.
Yes.
Were we good enough? Were we good enough to beat them?
No.
2022.
Wait a minute. You talking about with Brock Purdy?
Yeah, the first year as rookie when we went to San Fran. The game was tight.
That was against Jimmy G. First time.
Actually, that was supposed to be all year. Wasn't that supposed to be all year?
Our quarterback threw 2 picks. Theirs threw none. Yeah. Jimmy Johnson said it himself. You cannot turn the ball over in key situations. You can't.
Agree with that.
That is fact.
And guess what? When you're the franchise quarterback, you cannot do that. You have the franchises in your hands. Yep. You are the leader of our team. Yep. You cannot do that.
And you know what? I've seen Pat Mahomes throw a bad interception, giving the opposition the ball on the 27-yard line, but his defense stood tall and stopped them and prevented them from scoring.
Our defense held them to like 19 points. What are they supposed to do?
Wasn't that the year that Dak ran?
You are our franchise.
That was
the year Dak ran too long,
maybe
right?
If Randy Gregory hadn't tackled the offensive lineman and gave us a little more time, maybe we would have gotten that score too.
Situational awareness.
Maybe,
Maybe
if we had rushed the ball for more than 62 yards, then we might have had a different outcome too. There's plenty of blame to go around.
We also held the 49ers to less than 100 yards rushing that game.
There you go.
But they were in the same quagmire we were that entire game.
Yeah,
except we had a veteran quarterback and they had a rookie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mr.
so Wade. Then listen. You said blow it up. Let's go ahead and get rid of Dak now too. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
All right.
We should have.
We should have.
I get what Wade's saying. That's exactly what Wade is saying.
Because
if you're going to blow it up, don't half-ass blow it up.
The idiots that you have, you get rid of Dak. We're the Jets for the next 10 years.
That's fine. Until I'm okay with it.
Okay. Then why are you upset now that we're in Schitt's Creek?
Because we signed Dak and we got a shitty head coach. That's why.
Lordy. Okay, but you'd be happy if we just got rid of Dak and still had a shitty coach.
I would be happy if they brought in a competent head coach and we started over and drafted a first-round quarterback.
You know what? I'd be happy too if they had signed Derrick Henry. I'd been happy too if they had signed Calais Campbell. But they're not going to do those things, bro. They literally have Dak as the fall guy. He's good enough to make us relevant, and we ain't got to do shit else to try and make it succeed.
We can win with Dak. Dak's not.
That's what I keep trying to.
Yeah, we need to have a balanced offense for Dak, because if he don't have a running game, he's going to struggle when we get behind. But if we have a running game to balance the offense better, like the years that he was really good.
Dak is not good enough. Look at the last four teams. All these four teams have first-round pick quarterbacks.
And what did all those teams do well?
They all, you know what? Every one of them run the football real well.
Look at all the quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls. They're either Heisman Trophy winners or they're first-round pick quarterbacks. Go look at NFL history. Go look.
Tom Brady?
Roger Staubach was a Heisman Trophy winner who took us to 4 Super Bowls. Troy Aikman was a first-round pick quarterback who took us to 3. I don't know. Peyton Manning, first-round pick quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, first-round pick. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady, that is a blip. Mm-hmm. That's a blip on the radar right there. We need a first-round pick quarterback. You need a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I mean, you need one.
There's not one that I would say in the draft this year.
Very few in the last few years.
I think Dak can win. He just needs to have a balanced offense.
He is in year 10. He snapped his leg. He is in year 10. Guys, we're a decade in. I was 24 when he took over. I am 34 years old, about to be 35. We're not going to get it done with him.
Damn.
I don't know what more y'all need to see. I'm in my mid-30s.
Well,
he was in my early 20s when he took over.
To counter you, Wade, Montana, Nick Foles, Russell Wilson, Jeff Hostetler, Drew Brees, Brett Favre, Ken Stabler.
Those
are just third and second round quarterbacks that have won Super Bowl.
Doug Williams.
Ken Stabler was a Heisman Trophy winner.
How long did it take Matthew Stafford and Drew Brees to get their Super Bowl?
Yep.
Jalen Hurts was in the second round. You know what I'm saying?
And people are going to say, "Oh, it took John Elway forever. He went to 3 Super Bowls. He went to 3 championships before."
But you know what?
People are going to say, "Oh, John Elway, 3 Super Bowls, and then he made the other 2."
And mind you, Jalen Hurts has had a different coordinator almost every year since he's been in the league.
Oh, Lordy. Okay. You know what?
I mean,
it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? A person
Leo,
who can
what's
do
your
that.
opinion on this? Am I right, Leo? Come
on.
What more do you need to see? We're 10 years in.
You're the only Cowboy fan.
Okay.
Listen, you're the only Cowboy fan that I know who has actually watched another team's blueprint or other teams' blueprint and have said consistently, we need to do this. Like, it's time. If you're going to rip it off, damn it, rip the scab all the way off.
All right,
you're done.
Here's the reality.
You're done, Walker. You ready to get going with the rebuild?
Gina Dallas put it out here. Here's the reality. You got 2 more years with Dak Prescott, whether you like it or not. You got 2 more years. Okay? Maybe they end up being in a position where they can draft Arch Manning, if you believe. The jury's out on that one because he hasn't played enough to know if he is as good as his brothers yet. But you got 2 years of it. So you would want to try and build a team, whether it's going to be Dak or somebody else. You're at a position right now where you start out with young guys.
But
you're rebuilding a new coaching staff.
I don't blame Dak. Here's the problem: when you have a owner or owners, the Joneses, where they control the 53-man roster, who they want, and when they control who you draft and control who can coach, who they gonna bring in, who they want to coach.
Who's going to get the ball? Because, hey, we paying CeeDee Lamb a lot of money. He needs to have 13 to 15 touches a game. So we're freaking running CeeDee Lamb because we don't get a fucking running back. We don't get a fucking running back.
And I guarantee you next year, if Rico ain't going to get those carries. He's going to bring somebody else in.
They need to bring somebody else to go in there. I don't know that they're going to pay
Walker's
Rico.
just ready to do the investment of actually drafting. And I don't blame him.
Dude, I understand. Like, I know, look, I'm trying to look at the positive here, but dude, I believe in my hearts of hearts. The only way we're going to get to the Super Bowl, we have to draft a Peyton Manning. We have to find a Tom Brady. That's the only way we're going to get to the championship at this point.
Even doing just that, with doing things the
think
way
if
they're
they could get
doing
Jackson
it,
Dart
it's still not going to be enough there, Wade.
I think
it's not enough.
Mark, if you would have thrown Peyton Manning out there on the team this year, we would have at least had 12 wins or 11 wins.
Who's the number one draft pick?
They
said will be number one draft pick. That's a quarterback. What's his name?
It's either Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders.
If the Cowboys go all in, they say, "Hey, we'll take some draft choices and do all these draft choices, getting Cam Ward." And they're not going to trade Michael, but I think you would trade Michael
and have no running game.
I think you're going to see, though. I think you're going to see that Jackson Dart will be there for us in the second round.
They better get him.
We have to get Jackson Dart.
That means you're not going to get it, if it makes sense.
We got to think realistically on how the Cowboys do things. Because that's what's going to ultimately be done. Like, we can want and hope for a lot of things, but...
Well, if we don't get another quarterback, who's coming in to back up Dak? Trey's gone. Cooper's gone.
Cooper Rush will probably end up being back. But here's the reality, though, bro. When you're trotting out there, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Zeke Elliott, Dalvin Cook, and Rico Dowdle, when you draft two offensive linemen and decide rookies that we're going to play in a different position than what they played in college, because Tyler Guyton played right tackle, we're going to throw him here out at left. We're going to take Cooper Beebe, who was a guard, we're going to make him a center. You're not going to win.
No,
Mark, they do that in football all the time.
Yeah, but you can't pull them out of there.
To do that and say, it's Super Bowl or bust.
You can't be doing that all the time.
After you lose 9 starters.
So look, this year isn't on Dak. This is an organizational failure this year. This is an organizational failure.
And
we had nobody to lead us after Dak went
continuing
down.
into this year.
You know, and I'm not even going to put this season coming up on Dak. I mean, the team's in bad shape. Organization's in bad shape. It's a lose-lose. But when we did have at least a serviceable enough team, decent players, we couldn't get it done. Now we're in bad shape now.
Team, but I don't look at it as the same.
I wouldn't be.
I'm sorry, Wade. You can feel the way you do, but when I look at the San Francisco team,
you want us to have the '93 Cowboys out there. Basically, that's what you want.
Basically, that's what you're seeing. That's winning Super Bowls. You're seeing super teams that are winning. You saw Tampa Bay when they brought in Tom Brady. It wasn't just Tom Brady. They brought in a younger Ndamukong Suh. They brought in a Gronk with Tom Brady on an 8-8 team that elevated them. The Rams, they brought in Matthew Stafford. They brought in Odell. They brought in Von Miller. You can't look at the team that we had in 22 and say that we were on the level of either of those two teams or the San Francisco team that was there last year or the Eagle team that was there 2 years ago. We did not have anywhere near the same level of talent. San Francisco had talent across the board and still couldn't get it done. Their defensive line, night and day better than us. Linebackers, hell, they had linebackers. Their secondary, maybe our secondary was as good as theirs was last year. But that's the only thing on defense other than Micah Parsons. You look at the offense, look at their offensive line. Look at having Brandon Ayuk, having Deebo Samuels, having Christian McCaffrey, having George Kittle. We haven't had a good tight end the whole time Dak Prescott's been here. Dalton Schultz, 780 yards. That's the best year in the last 9 years at tight end. We didn't really have anybody stepping up. I mean, I guess you could say Dalton Schultz. I mean, not Dalton Schultz. Schoonmaker, with his 260 yards, he finally showed up. But you look at teams right now, that's the playmaker for them. Every single one of them has an elite tight end that is making plays and bailing out the quarterback. If it wasn't for George Kittle getting that play that Diggs should have knocked away, we beat them.
Oh, that's little too.
We beat them, but the tight end made the plays. We ain't got that kind of shit, bro. And when we can't draft it, it's okay. We believe in our own guys, man. We believe in our own guys. And the same thing, we believe in our own guys as coaches. So you got the same loser mentality of guys that haven't done shit, that are just recycled with the Joneses, and they can feel happy up in there because, we're stirring shit up. We're being talked about. We ain't got to win. Why try and win? That's too hard. We can just be dysfunctional and get paid. We're talked about more than the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talked more about the Commanders and the Eagles combined right now that are playing the NFC Championship game. And that's all the fuck they care about. You can blame Dak, you can blame the players, but it all starts with the Joneses that don't give a rat's ass. And if I'm a player and I see what the fuck they do, I'm going to try and get every damn penny I can out their ass and go ahead and do me. Fuck it. They don't care about winning. Why should I? Every
man damn sure
himself.
pay. Yeah, they damn sure pay, and it's no state tax.
Your name.
The Cowboys probably do feel like they're winning.
Hi, Mark.
Football game. They're winning in sales. They're winning in sales. They're winning in viewership. They are winning in their mind. They just ain't winning football games. Every other.
Hi, Leo.
Hey.
That sounded like us.
How you doing, Leo?
How you doing?
And
hey, I'm just a bystander now.
Yeah, just hanging in there.
More my team. Chiefs is still in the playoffs too. More my team is.
Okay, I'm happy for you too.
Cowboys, Mark. I always do.
I appreciate that. It's been hard.
But here's the deal.
Wade, don't cry. Please, Wade. Wade, come on, man.
Look, I just want to win. I just want to win already.
Wade, you don't think I do?
God.
Yep.
Wade, you don't think I want to win? Bro. Yeah. Bro.
It's even worse when you live down here, too.
You and Market, too, aren't you, Wade?
I remember
you and Market, aren't you?
Seeing Mr. Cowboy playing,
God.
Bro. I remember the Hail Mary when it happened. I remember Tony Dorsett running 99 yards. You don't think that this doesn't kill me, seeing the once proud franchise literally being the fucking laughingstock in the NFL? That literally every move they make is shit?
Laughing stock of the NFC for sure.
Maybe.
Who else is a bigger laughingstock than the Cowboys?
Not, we're the biggest laughing stock in the NFC.
You might say the Jets, but at least you can say the Jets. You can't say it's not from a lack of trying.
At least the Jets been to a couple conference titles last 14 years.
Yeah.
They're at least knocking on the door.
In the 90s.
You got a point. You got a point.
Yeah.
So
but all
I said that, Mark, why didn't they interview any of the Ryans, Rex Ryan or his brother?
Hell, I'd have been happy with Rex Ryan over Schottenheimer.
You're asking me to figure out.
I want to Pete Carroll. Deion Sanders. That ain't gonna happen,
bro. Because they're lazy, man. They know
they're
comfortable. They operate out of comfort. They don't want to change. They do not want to change.
I would hate to have to go after Buddy's boy a couple of times.
I'm just asking a question because I'm just curious. You think because what Rex Ryan said on ESPN is what he said if he was the head coach, that possibly wouldn't have that podcast?
Listen, the Joneses don't
Do
want.
You think that's what it was?
No.
Well, he talks shit about Zimmer too. He doesn't like Mike Zimmer
I think
either.
the Jones family cares about what the players do off the field as long as it doesn't hurt the team. I don't think, just because Rex Ryan said that, I don't think they even bat an eye on that. I don't think they give a shit.
Rex Ryan is slightly above 500, and hasn't coached in 9 years. At least Brian Schottenheimer is a younger voice that might be able to relate to the players better than Rex Ryan would. Sorry, that's Eagle stack to me because they're.
I'm just saying, if you'd have told me we're hiring Marty Schottenheimer at like 53 years old, I might have been a little excited. Because damn, his dad was a hell of a coach.
But you know what? We don't know what he's going to be like in the spotlight, bro. Give the man a chance.
Be passive aggressive, I think.
You know what? Give the man a chance. You just don't know. You think the Washington fans were excited when they hired Joe Gibbs?
He was offensive coordinator before he got the job.
Yeah, he was offensive coordinator for the San Diego Chargers. Eric Coryell.
Right.
But
he come from that Eric Coryell tree.
Yeah, but were Washington fans saying, "Oh my God, we're going to win 3 Super Bowls with this guy, man. We made the greatest move in the world"? Don't think so.
I'm trying to also remember those 2 Super Bowls were strike season, so I don't even count those.
I think he came after Jack Pardee.
Yeah, but the Cowboys during those strike seasons, you do know we literally had all of our players.
Yeah.
And the Washington Redskins still beat us.
Yep.
But Momo said, "I'm digging." What the hell was that?
This is so hard, man.
I
apologize, everybody who's in the chat here trying to control the circus here. I got Wade over here crying. I got Momo and Leo over here just clowning us and shit. I got Tyler Joyce's girl over here joking us and things. It's hard out here for a pimp, man. So forgive me. I see all you in here, Big
Mark,
Spank Dog.
let me just say this one last thing.
Pierce and everything else.
Stop playing that dumbass song with those rappers. That nobody in DC like that song. This trash. Stop playing it for me, please. I'm begging you.
All right, I'll stop playing that.
And the one hand up. Who even says that? Who does that anymore?
Play it.
Rio sings it all the time.
I don't want to.
Man, if you ask me, the Commanders need to get some nuts and come out on that field in an NFC Championship wearing them Redskins jerseys. We're changing the name back. We're back, baby. We're back.
They getting the emblem back.
Well, but see, here's the thing, though. If they do that, interesting. If they do that, then if they go to the Super Bowl, it would happen. Let's say they went to the Super Bowl this year.
They are.
So
they're going.
No, Derek.
They're going.
Are we saying that song?
Will they keep the same name?
They're going.
See, you see? He's got to leave now. Look, you see that? Oh, I just got him on black. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be right back. I got to leave right now. See how them Commander fans are? Oh, there's no rivalry. We're superior. We're superior to y'all. Y'all just. Okay, we won't play the left hand up. We'll just show your ass.
Oh. Oh no! Oh no! And then he came back.
I'm sorry. Now we know how to quiet Bobo.
Whoa!
Oh boy, he just did the ass of shame.
I'll be the Moon Man. I'll be the Moon Man for the rest of this stream. I'll be the Moon Man.
No more left hand up. We'll just put the ass up.
Hey,
I'll be Moon Man, so I mooned y'all.
Not going to help you, Derek. It's not going to help them.
Oh Lordy.
The fairy tale ends tomorrow.
Oh my God.
For your team?
No, for the Commanders.
I hate to say this, but the Commanders have been the best looking team in this playoffs.
You know what? And they could be that team of destiny.
I agree.
The Commanders have been the best looking team out of everybody. The Commanders look like the best team in this playoffs right now.
Yep. And they seem to, they're you know what? They're playing loose like they got nothing to lose. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to bet against them, man. I've already bet against them twice and lost, so this time I'm betting for them.
Really?
Yeah, dude, because, man, third time's a charm, right?
I just want to say one thing.
To say here,
Leo, don't let Hurst come out there and he can't throw the ball. I'm just saying.
Well, shit, that's every week. but you know what's funny?
Forget about throwing the ball. Make him run. Make him run.
Eagle fans have been rubbing it in my face.
Make him run.
But most Washington fans have actually been decent to me.
And what was that? Hey, Leo, what was that thing they did? Why they gonna tag Washington, the fans in Philadelphia? They sit there and attack people coming in, the players coming in. That's just stupid.
Well, see, here's the thing. First of all,
there is no thing. You can't explain that.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that since the 70s.
No. Listen, thank you. I was going to say,
they've been doing that for decades.
Momo.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How is it, Momo? And this is for all of you. How is it that you all still have questions about us? If you guys have had to play us twice a year for the entire time, most of you have been Cowboy fans. You still got questions? Come on, let me tell you something. The thing about this is, which is crazy to me, is that y'all sit here and y'all act like we didn't like Saquon didn't do to us what he did to y'all. Y'all act like Dan Quinn didn't do to us like he did to y'all. Like we know each other a whole heck of a lot better than the way y'all been acting, and it's starting to get on my damn nerves. Like, come on, y'all. Saquon fucked us up too. Dan Quinn kicked our asses too. Like, really?
And then Leo.
No, hold on, Momo. The thing that blows my mind is that hold on. Wait, Momo, hold on. The thing that blows my mind is that he went to the last time Super Bowl. That was we had to play Mr. Irrelevant. It was a Disney story, and Mr. Irrelevant is taking his team and he's put them on his back and he's lifting them and they going straight to the Super Bowl. Well, let me say something. That team that they marched his ass in front of was threatening to break the record for sacks that year. That means that whenever you got a team that threatens the sack record, those is goons. And what you thought to do was march Mr. Irrelevant in front of a bunch of goons? Them motherfuckers ain't give a shit about that damn Disney story, and they fucked his ass up. And then you know what they did? They got cute and put his back up in front of a bunch of goons. And what did they do? They bust his ass out too. That's what happens. And now what you're trying to do is you're trying to convince me that you're gonna march light in the ass in front of these dudes for the NFC Championship games.
We'll see. It's tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow.
Let's be honest.
No. Let's be honest with yourself.
Boy, this feels like WWE up in here.
And raving you doing doesn't make no sense to me because you ranting about a past. What happened in the past?
I'm talking about how is it that you guys have all these questions? It's not like you don't know who these people are.
But the question, my question for you is that is Jalen Hurts able to, because y'all wide receivers can't get separation. If you can't get separation in this league as a wide receiver, you dead for.
Let me just
that's all I'm saying. I don't want to go back and forth with you.
Let me say this.
Leo, you didn't hijack.
Just think this way.
This is our petty party.
Patrick Mahomes has jacked up his ankle week to week. The way you question that and he comes out and play, it's the same way you should look at Jalen. It doesn't matter.
Leo!
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of shut.
No.
You can find Leo on YouTube at
Bro, this is our pity party, okay?
Somebody
You're at the Cowboys funeral. You've got your coronation tomorrow. Relax.
Yeah, no, I'm saying,
relax,
bruh. Stop trying to act like you don't know who those people are.
Bro, we don't care about the Eagles right now tomorrow. We're here crying. Look at Wade. Look, you don't even see him because he's down on the table, literally crying and pounding the table.
Because
I want my Cowboys to win. Okay.
But he was
Oh my God. Okay. Take you and your goons and go on to your game tomorrow. Don't worry about us little people here. Let us Cowboy fans just cry together. Can we cry together? Can you just give us that much?
No.
I mean, I know you're a channel member and I appreciate the support, but damn, man, read the room. Read the room. we're missing Mike McCarthy right now. That's how bad shit is.
Damn.
That's how bad it is. I think, like, about a month and a half ago, I was on this show. I said, what does Brian Schottenheimer do?
You fucked around and found out.
I was like, he don't do nothing but talk crazy on the sideline.
And now he a head coach.
Oh, shoot.
Marty, I looked up his resume, his coaching and stuff like that. I think that's a lot of teams you go to in college. You go to since '97, 13 different teams you've been in college.
Then he's got lots of experience and seen a lot of.
That's a lot.
Okay, and hey, experience.
I think the only thing I'm going to say about is that I just wonder, why has he never been a head coach for all those years? That's all, Mark.
There's only 32 head coaches in the history. I mean, in the NFL at a time. There's not a whole lot of those jobs. And you could look around and say, we got a lot of guys out there that are getting their first chance to be a head coach right now. Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson,
But his daddy his daddy is a legend. His daddy will have more say so. Say, hey, I got my son. I think you should have my son. He had more leverage.
No, it doesn't necessarily work that way.
I think it does. Remember, he was on that 2000 on Marty Schottenheimer, coached the Washington Redskins at that time, or whatever they was called. He was assistant coach on that team. He was the quarterback coach.
Momo, you got our coach. You got the NFC Championship. You're dealing with Leo's team. Would you stop just trashing my guy? Because you know what?
I ain't trashing him.
Because I can say Sean McVay was there with your loser ass team and John Gruden. I'm sorry, Jay Gruden, the dumber brother. Okay, before he went to the Rams.
That's true.
And he looks
I forgot about that one.
People can say, well, why is he a head coach? Well, he got his opportunity, and he looks a hell of a lot better than the Washington team.
Jim Zorn, he went in to apply for the defensive coordinator, and they made him the head coach.
Right. There you go. So you don't know. You
Vinny
don't know
Serrato.
when somebody is given an opportunity. What they
forget
can do.
waiting tables. You could be the manager.
Yeah.
You can be the manager.
Hey,
we don't know.
Hey, that was Dan Snyder. But y'all do know Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones are hand in hand. They just like each other. They are just hand in hand the same thing. Because that's what Dan Snyder did. He was a meddling person.
Yeah.
And he was the same way. But the Cowboys will be fine next year. I believe Cowboys gonna make the playoffs next year. I really do. I think
so too. I think they'll be back anyway in next time.
No,
we're gonna need the NFC Championship game to get over this year.
The Cowboys need to be thinking.
Mike
about
has said we holding up the
tank
Super
and
Bowl
look good.
trophy.
That's what the Cowboys need to do next year. Y'all need to figure out how to tank real good, how to make it look good.
But here's the thing, though. We'll have that. Actually, our schedule looks pretty bad. I forgot Kansas City and everybody. But
so tank.
But then
already
again,
just
But
tank.
then again, you don't know who's going to be good and who's not.
No doubt, Jeff.
Okay. And what you may see is the Joneses say, oh, okay, y'all done trashed us and said he ain't going to be successful. We're going to show you guys. We're going to go out here. We're going to get some free agents and stuff. We're going to try and make him successful. It could happen.
If we get another wide receiver.
If you get a wide receiver and a running back with Brian Schottenheimer with Dak and that you get a left tackle, your offense is going to be fine.
Is Trayvon Brothers still available to come on?
Yeah, he is. He's a free agent. But he's coming back.
Yeah, but why would you want him after a ACL tear?
Because that's what the Cowboys do.
That's what they do.
That's what they love. What, you got an ACL? Hey, come on down. Michael Gallup, come on down. Terrence Steele, come on down.
Expect them to be themselves.
Jalen Smith, you're the next contestant on the broken Cowboys
the tour ACL. We just love it.
Calm down.
That fishnet shirt ready.
But honestly, though, now
hey, you see what Holly wrote?
What you write? Are you gonna make it?
And the answer, no.
Oh yeah, you two are here.
No.
But here's what I will say: with as many problems as we had on offense this year, like my man Derek just said, if you get a wide receiver in a running game, and Cooper Beebe continues being good, and you get a left tackle, your offense is still going to be good. Your offense is still going to be good. Now, our new defensive coordinator, he's been a linebacker coach and has had success with guys like DeMarcus Ware, as well as Anthony Spencer, with those guys, and Sean Lee.
So is it going to be Matt Eberflus as defense coordinator for Dallas?
I already called that one 2 weeks ago.
I remember.
I love seeing how y'all going through it right now. I'm sorry, I just had to say that, Derek. The thing that I need to happen is I really want Kellen Moore to win the Super Bowl. That'd be the worst. That's the worst case scenario for y'all. That'd be the cherry on top for me.
No, I think the cherry on top would be the guy we had last year win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Dan
Kellen Moore is like.
I would actually like to see that happen, because then that makes them look that much smaller. That they don't look that stupid. That literally for your players that you said, we don't need those guys, and your coach because see, here's the funniest thing about Cowboy fans about us is we will tell you you're not worth shit. That guy's a bum. He's the reason why we're not winning. Get rid of him. And we get rid of them, and they do good things.
So it's more crow on the Commanders than it is on the Eagles.
Yeah, because they got not only the coach, but they got 7 players.
Well, several coaches. They got like Joe Witt was there.
Damn,
was with us. So yeah, they got like 3 coaches and 4 players from our team. And so you look at them, and they turn things around.
Ouch.
And that would be you have to look at this and say, damn, we let go Dan Quinn, and he's in the NFC Championship game. And I dare say, Walker Wade, what would be the coup de grace that would probably kill him is if the Cowboys had gotten rid of Dak and he went to a team and won a Super Bowl. Do you know how much that would hurt?
Like the Patriots.
That would literally be like the death blow.
That's why I want Dak to stay until he's retired, just to avoid that, because it would happen. It would happen.
Now, my question, but here's actually my question is how does Micah Parsons feel about this? Does Micah Parsons look like this? I mean, technically, there's nothing he can do. He can't force the Cowboys to do anything. But does he want to get the hell out of here?
Yeah, he do. Yeah, he do.
Smart, he would.
If I'm a player, I'm looking at this shit and saying, I kind of like Zimmer. At first I liked Dan Quinn, but you didn't hold on to him. Then I got to like Mike Zimmer. Now he's gone, and now you're giving me a third one. Well, what the fuck is this? There's no stability here.
Yeah. That's why I said sell him. Get what you can.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. You're going to trade him if but you're relying on the Joneses. The same one that said get rid of Mike McCarthy, they come back with Brian Schottenheimer. Yeah. So we're talking about get rid of Amari Cooper, and you come back with a 5th round pick. Hey, we need another quarterback. Let's give up a 4 for Trey Lance. So are you expecting the Joneses to be able to trade Micah Parsons for somebody else? And depending on who you trade him to, probably somebody is looking at winning now. Which means their draft pick is going to be later in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not getting 2 number ones from one draft. So you're getting one from this year and maybe one from the following year. And so let's say, it was the Eagles. They gave up a number 1 and you're 28th or 30th or whatever.
Yeah.
That's almost a second round pick. And you're losing that talent that you got on defense for hopes that you draft somebody good. What if it's Mozzie Smith you draft to replace him?
Yeah.
I gotta say a bird.
Mind you, and then you figure all the other holes that have revealed themselves as of late, like your linebacker because of Overshown, you know what I'm saying, your whole secondary. Oh, on top of the fact that you also have to rebuild your entire coaching staff.
You are rebuilding your whole coaching staff.
Yeah,
we are rebuilding our whole coaching staff.
The whole thing.
You're starting
scouting department. Yeah, you got to start over your scouting department.
May not. Now, Will McClay is under contract through the draft, and I probably think they try and keep him. So at least you probably keep the scouting department together.
Okay. That's not so bad. But everything else, it's going to be a change of culture by default.
Sam Williams has been Randy Gregory light. He always makes boneheaded mistakes, and he's coming off of an ACL. ACLs are like our bugaboo.
Well, who's the one who got more than just the ACL?
That's Overshown, the linebacker.
Yeah.
Overshown.
And you've got
Diggs, and Diggs now has something else.
Diggs.
But they're talking career with this one, right?
Hey, here's the thing. I didn't even know that Sanders won't play in the Shrine game. He's not going to play in the Shrine game.
It doesn't surprise me.
Who? Shador?
Yeah.
You better not. Mm-mm. That's a business decision, bruh. That's a damn good one, too. Sit your ass down.
Overshown basically had the catastrophic everything's torn.
So that's
here's the thing. I think Diggs might be cut with an injury settlement this summer.
Possible.
Because he's got the graft where they're basically trying to grow a cartilage. So
they take it from like a cadaver.
That's not good.
No. What they do is they actually take a bone from him, they grind it up, we mix it with cartilage, and they cut out a section of the bone. They drill holes into it, and it's like a paste that they put on there. And the hope is that you get the blood flow coming out of the marrow, that it'll basically grow a new cartilage. Now, Noah Brown had the same thing done with him, and he seems to be okay with it, but it's only about a 70% success rate. So he's probably going to miss. He's not going to be ready for training camp. I can guarantee you that. Overshown is optimistic that he's going to be back early, but we're talking about a catastrophic knee injury after you already tore it the year before. So for me, I'm not counting on either of those guys being there.
Wow.
What is up? What is up with this team? Like any good linebackers get hurt.
Yeah.
Every good linebacker we've had.
Yeah, and then when there is good linebackers that are free agents like a Bobby Wagner, they want to rely on guys that get hurt all year instead of a reliable linebacker like Bobby Wagner that's a tackling machine and never gets hurt. Let's go ahead and rely on Van Der Esch and all these other guys.
Who's the training staff?
But no. Hold on. See, you got to understand the value picks that the Joneses make. See, the thing is guys like Jalen Smith drop because they had a catastrophic knee injury. They look at it and say, well, that guy was valued as a first-round pick. We can rehab him. He had
Sean Lee dropped because of an injury too, right?
He had bad knees coming out. Van Der Esch had neck injuries coming out of college. And you draft these guys that are already broken up and think, what's his
value?
Oh, God, he's probably going to be a cap casualty. We drafted him in the 5th round, linebacker. They fused his spine, literally, over the summer of his rookie year. He was drafted the same draft as Nakobe Dean. Oh, my God.
From LSU, right?
Yeah.
What was his name? I forget.
Oh, shit. Anyway, they always are
Maurice Leafau.
No.
Are you sure it wasn't Leafau?
No.
Talking about a few drafts ago.
Oh, a few drafts ago. I thought you meant this year.
Oh my God.
I mean, I personally think if I was just say if I was the owner of the Cowboys, I would trade Parson for the number 1 pick for Tennessee. I would do that to get the number 1 seed to get get quarterback because I just think and a number 1 and a number 2. That's what I would do if I was the owner of the Cowboys because ensure us the future because it's all about the future in any organization. And who because Dak got so many years left that he's going to be with the if you think that Dak going to be here for another 6 years or 8 years, I beg to differ. So you want someone to take over when he leaves.
So you got hole at linebacker, safety, defensive back, wide receiver, offensive line, running back, and you're going to
plug the holes in free agency. That's why you have free agency.
Whoa! We're talking about the Cowboys. They don't do that.
Yeah. Well, they're going to do. I think they're going to do it this year.
Cowboys are literally going to need to be bad enough to draft high in the draft, and the problem is they're never bad enough.
Yeah,
they're never just bad enough to have the first or second overall pick. That's why we didn't draft the first overall pick in the early 2000s. We were 5-11. Could never just have one win. Could never just be bad enough. We always got to be. You can't get the quarterback. You need to draft someone else.
God, you sound like
draft. Better yet, be like Jerry Jones. Go ahead and how many first round draft picks did he trade for Rocket Ismail or Joey Galloway?
2.
That bullshit.
2 number 1s. Roy Williams is a first and a second.
Yeah. Never just be bad enough.
Walker Wade. I love Walker Wade.
Philly 500. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
He's so serious.
He literally Philly 500 just texted me. See, you're one of those stealth watchers, you jackass. I'm listening to your show. Stop making excuses for Dak. Fuck you, Philly 500.
Hey, Philly 500. Me and him had an argument earlier. And we're in year 10. I'm ready to move on. Trust me.
Philly, just go back and check.
Philly 500. I was 24 when he took over. I'm about to be 35. I'm done with this shit.
Philly 500. Just rewind like 30 minutes. I went off. I had a moment, so I got you.
So here's what's funny is you were ready to move off of Mike McCarthy. How you feeling right now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How you feeling right now? I'm just asking for a friend. Because it seems like every move we make, it goes backwards. It gets worse.
And I love it.
Joneses.
I hope it keeps happening. I think Jerry's doing a wonderful job.
I just wish Jerry Jones has come out and just say one thing. Hey, I'm not running this team running. It's my son who's doing the most of the work. If he comes out there, I think Cowboy fans are okay. Now we understand.
No, you know what? Here's how clueless they are. Come Monday at 11 Central, they're going to be doing the press conference. You're going to see them there with that shit. I love this Brian Schottenheimer. He's got the right stuff there. He's no longer an assistant coach. He's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And it's going to be the same shit that he said, I can't wait to see that Ryan Fenoy get his first catch because, he's got Des Bryant in him.
He's just like his dad. He's Mario.
You know that. Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dad,
a story
Marty
about his dad.
Looking down on him. And they're going to be excited about this. They're going to try and shovel this shit and tell you it's the best thing. Well, we couldn't win because Mike McCarthy's holding us back, man. Mike McCarthy, yeah, he was holding us back. But now we got the right guy who was really the brains of it.
Jerry and Stephen Jones don't care about us Cowboys fans. They care about themselves.
You guys do. I just want y'all to realize something. Everything was sort of kind of preference off of the fact that I did say, think about where you guys were just this time a year ago. Yeah. You were a week out from having lost to.
You've said that before, Leo.
That's what I'm saying. Look at where it took us.
Why are you repeating yourself, Leo?
I mean, seriously, are you just trying to twist the knife in my back some more? I mean, what the fuck is that, man? You got it. You won. You got all the freaking marbles. Now shut the fuck up.
I love it.
I echo Mark. I echo that sentiment. Leo needs to shut the fuck up. I agree.
Listen, we're going to have to start banning you from certain shows. Because when it's a pity party for the Cowboys, we don't want to hear shit from you with that shit-eating grin. You know what?
They go to the Super Bowl, Mark. You're not going to like them in here then.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna win the Super Bowl. Wait, I'm telling you, we're gonna win, and you know it. You know it.
But you know
it's maddening. I get it.
It's sad that
I'd rather y'all win the Super
sad,
Bowl
Leo,
than Kansas
that you
City.
are a punk
That's
ass
for damn
bitch
sure.
and
Right. I
did
think so
not
too.
do Bet US, because you could have put money on the Eagles for the Super Bowl win.
Put your money on Buffalo.
You could have
I mean,
gotten
are you
that
kidding me? Are
150%
you kidding me? I don't want to see the Kansas City Chiefs win 3 in a row. I'll be a fly Eagles fly all day if the Eagles
the only team we got to root for right now is Buffalo. It's go Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't want neither one of them.
At the moment, I got to pick my poison.
I'm rooting for Buffalo too.
That's an interesting state of affairs, and Rhonda, that is why there will not be a bet between myself and Momo.
Because you're scared.
Truth be told, I respect his perspective. I mean, he's one of the at the end of the day, one of the more reasonable Commander fans. But and so because of that, I'm not doing that. It serves no purpose. There's no value add.
And what he's really saying is,
what can you do at this point?
No.
What can you do at this point to humiliate Momo if he loses?
Exactly. Well, look,
he done already been there.
He already done it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
Leo. Yeah. I just no man. I talk real talk later.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm good. I'm good.
No,
I mean, we down there with the New York Giants right now. I mean,
right.
we
okay.
I
just want to say, some Washington podcasters get on my damn nerves.
If you don't see that, you're in denial. Like, that's part of it.
You got to accept it. Some of these so-called Washington Commanders podcasters, they annoying, they loud for no reason, and I can't stand watching them. I really don't.
Are you talking about YouTubers?
Yes.
Yeah, he's talking about yeah.
They are very annoying.
Oh,
you know it's bad.
Wait. Let me see if I get this straight. So you'd rather watch a Cowboys one?
Yes.
Oh my Mark. Yes.
I'm not sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Mark.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Listen, the Commander fans are talking so spicy right now.
Pump the brakes.
Pump
the brakes.
Yeah, they are.
Pump the brakes. It ain't that serious.
It's like, whoa, really? They are.
I'm a realistic fan. We playing for house money. Who cares? I don't care if the Super Bowl, we're going to be in the Super Bowl for the next 10 years. Stop this. Stop.
Yeah. Mark, I guess I'm assuming because there's only because of how bad things are for you guys, you're missing all of this. But at the end of the day, you do got to remember, I'm in the NFC East with you, and these cats is really talking spicy.
What's the one, Mark, you do? Mark, what's the one you do? You simulcast with him, Leo, the one with the glasses?
Yeah,
Louis T.
Okay.
You talking about him?
Nah, Mark does him, and because he had
Rio.
Oh my God.
Rio, yeah.
He's the most annoying. He's so annoying. But anyway, enough of that.
Louis T ain't annoying. Double up.
Yeah.
That's his signature though.
I'll be listening to him and I'm like, what? Wait, hold on. No, wait, that's not how it went. No, wait. Oh, they got revision.
He says and he says so many misinformation doing. If you're a real fan, let's be honest about the team.
Right. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But okay, no problem. But I really believe that the Cowboys will win 10 games next year. Because remember, no one has repeated as the conference won the conference 2 years in a row. Mark, they are so bad that if what Momo said actually happens, I wouldn't mind. That's how bad they are right now. In the way that they talk.
On the NFC East trash talk page, You know it's bad when the Cleveland Browns fans are saying, "Man, the Cowboys are starting to look like the Cleveland Browns franchise."
Oh,
damn!
Cleveland Browns with a better quarterback. That's about it.
I think the
but hey, Mark, please don't let Jerry. If they let the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns go, and Jerry picks him up for about
Deshaun Watson. Oh shit.
You want a real circus? Let's pick up Deshaun Watson. Let's go ahead and pick him up.
Cowboy thing to do. To think,
I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to come to the Cowboys. I think his career is done. I think he's just done.
While you're at it, try to convince Johnny Manziel to come out of retirement to be our third string. Go ahead, let's get a circus going in here.
Okay, so to kind of change this a little bit, do we now put Trey Lance,
get Romo and Tony and Roger Staubach? Hey, come on, Roger, you still got the moves. We know you are older.
Okay, here's a real question: do we now put Trey Lance in that conversation of biggest bust with what's his name?
DeMarcus Russell.
Ryan Leaf. I mean,
DeMarcus Russell was pretty bad.
Who was? Oh, DeMarcus. Well, yeah.
Russell of the Raiders.
Nah, yeah.
They gave him that contract.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, Marcus Russell pretty much ate himself out of the league with that contract.
That and doing the scissors, the codeine syrup drink or whatever that they used to do. But yeah,
he made out with how much money?
Yeah, and that story where they sent him home with blank tapes, and he said, "Yeah, I watched all of it. I like everything. I like everything. I like all the plays, coach. It don't matter. Well, no plays on that tape.
That shit was blank. It's like this motherfucker ain't looking at it."
But I don't think Jamarcus Russell was worse than Johnny Manziel.
Oh my God! Well, Johnny Manziel. Okay, well, yeah. But Johnny Manziel was late in the first round. 49ers traded up for Trey. Couple of number ones.
Yeah.
And I don't think he started 7 games? 8 games? How fitting
don't
is it
translate.
that the Cowboys have had Ryan Leaf and Trey Lance on their roster?
Who was the guy that was playing, the quarterback that was playing baseball that everybody wanted, and then he picked the Cowboys and came here and sucked?
Drew Henson.
Was it?
Yeah.
Drew Henson.
Oh, Drew Henson, yeah.
Oh, boy. Like 4-5 teams wanted him. He said, Cowboys, I'll play for y'all. And then it's terrible.
That was when we had Vinny Testaverde back in 2004. I was in high school back then.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that was when Bill Parcells traded Antonio Bryant to the Browns, which I still hated that trade.
Wow.
So Trey Lance's career.
I don't trade Lance. Is he going to be a bigger bust than Oslister? No, I don't think he's going to be a.
I don't know. I mean, he's had 5 starts, 2 and 3, a 56% completion percentage. He's got 1,063 yards, 5 TDs, and 4 interceptions. Wow.
Oh.
Actually,
what kind of draft capital do y'all have right now?
What do you mean?
And well, I know Heath Schuler. He was a bust. Remember him?
Heath Schuler. I remember him. He definitely was a bust. And then when Heath Schuler was doing talking to somebody, I can't remember who it was, but his son said, "Dad, I just want to be just like you." And then Heath Schuler said, I don't know about that one.
So our picks for this year, the 12th pick, the 44th pick, the 76th pick. So we got 3 almost in the first 75. Unfortunately, we don't have a 4th round pick because we traded it for Jonathan Mingo. So then we drop all the way to 148, 168, 170, 171. Damn. So we literally have 3 picks within.
Actually, it goes 170, 172, and 174.
Okay.
Who would you take with the 12th pick? Realistically, who would you take?
Best player
available.
We have some.
We need to draft a quarterback for future.
I think it's another running back out there for that 12th pick. Yeah, I should go for him.
I might consider trading
Cowboys
back.
do good when they pick best player available. You can't pick by position. You know why? Because we got in trouble with that when you pick Taco Charlton over T.J. Watt. Pick best player available.
You know what, Walker? I think that was more of a Marinelli pick because he didn't want T.J. Watt. He just wanted to take Taco Charlton. I think that was Marinelli's pick.
That was actually a Will McClay pick.
Okay.
Prayers up to Aisha Robinson too. Just real quick, just want to say.
And he even talks about how terrible
she had somebody pass away.
Yeah. Sorry about that, y'all.
I think with the 12th pick for the Cowboys, I think they probably might. Let's just say if Genty's still there at 12, which he probably will be, I think the Cowboys should just pull the trigger and get him. If not, they will probably take a wide receiver. If not, they'll probably take Abdul Carter from Penn State, maybe. Maybe a defensive back, a cornerback, maybe, or a safety.
Yeah, we need linebackers and defensive line. My whole thing is you don't need to draft a wide receiver. Go get one in free agency. You got CeeDee Lamb. Go get a immediate starter who can impact immediately.
You would have been better off doing that instead of signing Michael Gallup.
You know.
Well, Walker, if the Cowboys were to get a wide receiver in free agency, Jerry Jones cannot just beat around the bush and wait to sign our players. Just sign our players now, open up our cap space to get free agents. If they were to do that, they would probably have, I don't know, maybe.
We know it's not Jerry now, it's Steven. Steven Jones is really running this franchise right now. Jerry's a mouthpiece. Jerry's got a big mouth. He's a mouthpiece. Steven Jones made this decision on Schottenheimer being the head coach, not Jerry.
Because it's cheap.
Steven Jones is he's the capologist. He's a very cheap. He's cheap. He runs this thing, draft and develop, and bargain basement shop free agency. That's how he runs it.
Hey, Walker, according to the mock draft, the 12th pick, if he's around, will be the kid, the linebacker for Alabama, Campbell.
No, I don't think. Well, I think he's going to drop to the second round.
We haven't been consistent at linebacker in a long time. Let's draft, or we need to get a Bobby Wagner. We need to get someone who could stay and solidify the middle of that linebacker core for years. We haven't had that in a long time.
You want that's priority number one for you in this draft?
I mean, we've just been playing musical chairs with linebackers the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm. No, you got a point. When I think about Sean Lee and.
Well, what were you saying, Mark? Who the Saints linebacker? Oh, you've been screaming for him for years. I was screaming for him too.
Davis. Oh my God.
Demario Davis could have been our linebacker for the last 10 years.
But according to this mock draft, Walker, Wade, according to this mock draft, Gently is going to drop down to 19.
Yeah, that would be a case of if that is the guy you target, he may end up falling where you could trade back, get him, and get another pick. The Cowboys have been very, very lucky when they've moved back. We did that with Micah Parsons. We did that with Travis Frederick and got Terrence Williams. I'm one that would be more than happy with the amount of holes that we have. If we trade back a few spots and can still get an impact player and get another pick, we need it. Because I don't think that the Cowboys have any inkling to go ahead and start playing in free agency this year.
Plus, with your whole idea about the second round, right? Don't you say they don't do well in the second round?
Oh, my God. Second rounds are always the worst for us, man.
Right.
I know that Walker Ray doesn't like the Brian Schottenheimer hire.
Who doesn't?
I think, if you look at Schottenheimer's resume, when he was with the Jets in 2009 and 2010, they went to the AFC Championship twice with a decent running game. You had Thomas Jones, who was playing at that time, which was brother to Julius Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what was his rushing record then. I want to assume that he probably had like 1,000 yards those 2 years.
Mm.
You know, Brian Schottenheimer is more run heavy.
Right.
His offense at time as him as a coordinator were actually top 10. So he was really not that bad. You know, we just don't know how is he going to turn out as a head coach. It's always like an unknown. Could he be like a diamond in the rough? Maybe. We just don't know. I just say,
see what happens.
Philly 500 says we need to let Leo talk. He's the only guy making any sense. Let Leo talk. Free Leo. Shut up, Philly 500.
Nah, let's let Leo smoke it up.
Hey, there's a lot of crow that's going on right now, so I'm just letting you guys do your thing. Go ahead. I'm just sitting back listening. Go ahead. Thank you, Philly. But my presence alone is irritating enough. So I don't really have to say much. We don't have to say much right now. We're in the checkout line and customer service. Okay.
No, you show up in the checkout line, you're gonna check out right back to Cancun.
And then you want to see what I mean when I say these Commander fans?
No, you say I wasn't a typical one. Now you're saying I'm joking with you.
No, it's okay. I get it. You got whatever you got to tell yourself to feel better about that ass woman you're gonna get tomorrow. It's okay.
I think tomorrow is going to be a lot closer game between the Commanders and the Eagles.
Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty good game, actually.
I don't think it's going to be a slobber knocker. I think it's going to be maybe over 40 points. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, the Commanders scored like 45 the last game against Detroit.
Yeah, because Detroit, they had turnovers, which the Commanders took advantage of. That's how you win games. Once you win over the turnover margin and you can get points off of turnovers, you're going to more than likely win the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's by 1 point or 10 points, as long as we win. Let's keep the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, when it comes to ass whoopings, sometimes some plans don't need to be announced. Some plans just need to be implemented. The things that the defensive coordinator had to say that, if Jalen Hurts runs like a running back, we don't mind that because that wasn't for us. That was more for his team. You know what I'm saying? You got to say whatever you got to say to pump them up. You know what I'm saying? You do that, and that's what that was. We're going to burn the boats so that if we want to get home, we got to take their boats. That's what that was. It was a rallying cry, and he was using us to do that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to beat, because a smart person would know you don't say some shit like that when the day before you about to go into the link. Really? So that's what that was. It's a publicity stunt, and we don't care because at this point, you know what I'm saying, we just try. All we want to do is win. You know what I'm saying? We don't.
Your dance partner is calling.
My final question
y'all gonna dance.
To everybody on here: did y'all thought that was a dirty hit when Luva hit Detroit Lions quarterback?
I don't. Are you talking about like on the pick six?
Yeah.
No, because he was running in that direction. He was going like he's a defensive player now. At that point. So, hey, another example. Play big games. You got to deal with big prizes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that was. And as far as the game from last weekend, I don't mind snow games so long as they're not in the playoffs. But it's very difficult to draw any kind of conclusions from a game where everybody's running around on their tippy toes because you slipping and sliding. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody looked good. It was, that's really, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of those ones you call a mulligan on. You just don't judge both teams because,
like I said,
that was crazy.
Like I said, I really believe that the Cowboys gonna make the playoffs next year because I've seen this before.
I think so too. Yeah.
No,
I hope so. Look, I'm gonna tell you, this is how this season has went. After week 2, I walked out of my apartment with my Cowboys cup. The lady that lives in the next apartment was coming out at the same time, and she was like, I know you're going to throw that cup away, ain't you? And me and her had a funny back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, I saw her again with that same cup. She didn't say nothing to me. I don't know.
Wait a minute. With your cup that you threw away, or
no? I didn't throw it away. I still got the same cup too. No, she ain't had no cup. But I don't know who her team is. I didn't even ask her. But
but you had that same cup.
Yeah, and she didn't say nothing to me. It's like she feel sorry for me now.
Yeah,
wow.
That's how it is.
What's the weather report for tomorrow's game?
38 degrees game time.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
38 degrees, partly cloudy.
Okay.
Yeah. A good day for some football. You know,
they ain't what you want to say. They ain't what you want to say.
Cowboys fan, no matter what happens.
Huh?
I'm always going to be a DC for life, no matter what happens to Dallas on the games.
Hey, God bless. Right now, it's a bit. This is a business game. You know what I'm saying? One more.
Hail to the Redskins!
Wow,
Hail victory!
Wow, this is a new low. The only other organization that can empathize with you at this moment is the New York Giants. You know what I'm saying? Capizzle has been going through it. You know what I'm saying?
For old DC.
We are.
No.
He got Cowboys fans shouting the old Washington
Right down.
Yeah,
fight song.
Deep. Yeah, this is deep.
I mean, are you kidding me? The Washington team's going to go back to being the Redskins. Just watch. And all that shitty Commanders gear y'all bought, y'all just wasted that shit. You wasted your money.
I do have a question. I've been wanting to ask every fan this question. Here's the question: when they was called the Washington football team, did y'all guys think that was a stupid name? That y'all was okay with the name?
That was garbage. That was a disgrace.
It was dumb.
Y'all didn't look
at
it.
Commanders is a disgrace.
Yeah.
But let me answer Momo, because we are going through that here in Salt Lake. It's good for 1 year until you can find your identity.
Right.
Once you find the identity, then you can get rid of the H.
But see, the problem with that name, the Washington football team, they should have kept it, because they was trying to find out. They had 3 nicknames they had, and the Commanders was the best nickname of the 3 they picked. The other 2 was even worse.
Oh wow!
So I'm not.
Well, most of the names they wanted was already trademarked.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because one guy basically went through years ago and bought every name that might be possible and owned it. So that way he was going to sell, basically holding them hostage to make sure he got paid for whatever name they picked.
Well, if Washington wanted to, they probably could have went back to their original name, the Braves.
No, they couldn't, because I don't believe they would put their name back. I believe they'll have the emblem on their helmets next year of the Native American thing, but they would not go back to that name.
There's nothing wrong with going back to that name. They own the rights.
I'm telling you, they're not going back to that name. They will go and put the emblem on it, but they would never go back to that name.
No, hold on. I'm going to tell you something right now. The owner of the team grew up a Washington Redskins fan. If he decided to change that name back, he could do it instantly. It's his team.
It's a lot of reasons why they're not going to do it.
NFL bylaws allowed to. Don't they got to wait a certain number of years?
The NFL wouldn't be able to stop that, because the Washington team owns the rights of that name, the logo, and the uniforms.
We'll see.
Okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, any other name than the Washington Redskins is a disgrace to that franchise. It's a disgrace.
I don't know.
It's like changing the Cleveland Indians to the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, dude, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, what's stupid? I will feel this way. What is stupid to us may not be stupid to someone else. That's how I see it.
They changed the name of the team because people were bitching outside the NFL who don't even watch football. No one who is a fan of the. No one who is a fan of the Washington
fan. You talking to a diehard Washington fan, which I so coaxed to in RFK Stadium. I hated the name. I personally didn't like the name.
You're the first Washington fan I've met in 30 years that's ever said that, and I know a lot of Washington Redskins fans.
Okay, Mark knows this. Mark lives in the area. Mark, will you please tell him there are more Cowboy fans in the DMV than it is Redskins fans?
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I lived in Alexandria.
I mean,
for a number of years, so I know. Yeah,
I'm down here in Southeast Virginia. Yeah, it's more Cowboy.
I'm an Indiana. I'm a DC for life Cowboys fan in Indiana. So.
Yeah, I got to admit, when I lived in Alexandria, that was the case.
It was the case. And guess why? And we all know the reason why, Leo. I ain't going to go no further than that.
I like Cowboys.
Because it was the last team to integrate.
Yeah.
My dad, of course, I want y'all to understand, I'm 65 years old. And at 65, I'm sorry, I was born in 65. I'm 59 years old. But in the state of Virginia, you couldn't have interracial marriage. That's why Virginia is known for lovers, because it was loving versus Virginia to allow that to happen. I was literally the first class to integrate in my elementary school. So that's in my lifetime. And so when you think about Preston Marshall, the NFL integrated in 1948. It was 1960. They still had not had a black player. So my dad, of course, going to a segregated school and living through all he did, it's like, how can I support a team that won't put anybody like me on them?
Yeah.
And not that things were great in Dallas, but they had guys like Bob Bullet Hayes and things like that, so he could relate to them.
Right.
Yeah, the state I live in, the Indianapolis Colts, but I'm a diehard Cowboys fan.
Yeah. So during that time, Mark, they was the last one to integrate it. And the original owner didn't like Native Americans. He made that name to disperse them, to put them down. That's why he named them that name. Those are the facts.
Okay.
Y'all can look it up, Google it, Wikipedia, wherever y'all like.
Well,
Momo, they could have kept your team the same as it's always been, the Redskins, Momo.
I know. I understand. It might come back. I ain't going to hate it. All I know is that I just want a rivalry back with Dallas and Washington, because it hasn't been a rivalry. I want is a rivalry back. That's all I want.
100%.
I want that kind of rivalry back too, because just watching how the Cowboys and at the time in the 70s they were called the Redskins, it was brutal. Just watching old videos of that. Roger Staubach getting knocked out, and then them, giving them that smelling sauce or whatever it is. Okay, get back out there. That's how it was back then. It's not like now where it's kind of like, okay, let's get him under the tent.
I wish Mark had the video. It's a classic thing when they went first Super Bowl they went to and they lost to Miami Dolphins. And there was a championship game. It was a thing where they said, "Die, donkey, die." That's how they hated.
Damn.
Yeah.
Die, donkey, die.
Damn. And when Washington lost to the Dolphins that year, that was when the Dolphins went, what was it, 14-0 or something like that?
16-0.
They was undefeated.
Yeah, 17-0. 17-0.
There we go. Yeah.
So that year they beat Washington, the history of that game was that the kicker purposely threw that ball that way because he didn't want to Washington to be a shutout. He says that when he flipped it up, he did it on purpose, and Mike Bass ran it back for a touchdown. Because George Allen hated Sonny Jurgensen, and he wanted Billy Kimball as the quarterback, and Sonny Jurgensen should have started in those playoffs, but that's another story. Mark knows what I'm talking about. But I do want a rivalry. And like I said, Cowboys will win 10 to 11 games next year, because that's how this league rolls. Because one team looks to be down 1 week and everybody's despairing, hating and like that. And when you have a new face and a new voice, sometimes players play better. That's how it is.
Yeah, no matter, Momo, if you like a different team, we're still always going to be buddies, no matter what.
Yeah. Shit.
Let's also talk about this. Like, what if they decide to add in another game, 18 games?
They are.
It's the inevitable.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's the inevitable.
I mean, we have to wonder. It's like, okay, how they're going to implement this. Is there going to be like 2 bye weeks, or are they
going to have to do 2 bye weeks?
That. Yep. There you go. Not only that though, a shorter preseason, also a shorter preseason.
Yeah, they'll go down to 2 games.
Yeah,
they'll go down to 2 games.
So they don't play in the preseason anyway. Players, let me say this.
Then you also talking about messing with the entire training camps schedule too.
What training camp? There's no such thing as training camp no more, Leo.
Yeah,
Here's the reason no such thing as training camps. They don't wear full pads in training camps. They don't wear they basically wearing shorts and put some shoulder pads on. They don't have no physical contact with each other. So
that's because the Players Association stepped in and said, "This is what you're going to do."
Yeah,
exactly. So then, when players get into the regular season, the first 4 games of regular season, that's when you hear all these injuries or soreness because they not got used to the contact during the off season or in training camp. In training camp, it's like a walkthrough every game, every day. So now these players ain't tough enough and they get injured. So therefore, there is no contact. And you see these guys, I told my ankle, I'm sore, I can't play.
Their body's not.
I got hit. That's why you have thinner players like Jaden Daniels and others who could play the position and like that. That's why you're going to see in the future, you're going to see offensive linemen wearing 210 and 220. I guarantee it.
Well,
y'all know I'm right.
I tell you what, I've banged my head enough with this. This is over 2 hours.
All right, Bob.
Tomorrow we've got the Commanders and the Eagles. It's going to be a rough day, and I need to prepare
Bills.
myself mentally.
Go Bills!
Wow.
Well, the Bills have to play against 2 teams: the refs and the Chiefs.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, last week when the whole Texans game, where they threw the personal foul flag on the Texans, it's like the guy didn't even touch Mahomes. It was more like the Texans player
jumped over him. He jumped over him.
Yeah, I'm all like, what kind of?
And then on the other one, Mahomes dived like half a second before he get hit, and they called a penalty. I was like, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, he slid half a second before he get hit, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Oh well, we're watching all that film.
Who you guys think's gonna be in the Super Bowl?
I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo. Yeah, the only team I got left.
I say I want Buffalo.
Us and whoever. That's all I say.
God, dog. Do we understand what we got here? We have as Cowboy fans. Wait a minute. Is Amari Cooper still playing or is he hurt?
No, he's still playing.
He's still playing, but
Amari Cooper on one team. We got Kellen Moore on the other team.
Yep.
And then we got Dan Quinn and a whole bunch of players and coaches on another
Amari
team.
Cooper.
Yeah, he had Bills, right?
Yeah.
Amari who?
Amari.
No, you're right. Ooh.
Amari Cooper was with the Bills. So we got, as a Cowboy fan, we got Amari Cooper with the Bills.
And they got the tight end that we were supposed to get in the draft 2 years ago.
And we got Kellen Moore with the Eagles. And then we got Dan Quinn and all his homies from last year who left us. And the 2-time world champs. That's the teams we have to root against, to root for. That's the 4 teams we have left.
Are you trying to make me feel better?
That's crazy. We got.
It's the living, breathing example of ineptitude from 2 organizations: the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants.
Oh yeah, we forgot Peyton Hendershot playing for Kansas City.
Yeah. That too. We are not the Giants. I would never claim the Giants. The Giants.
No. I'm saying ineptitude is like people that messed up. Royal.
The Giants had to pick between Saquon
and Daniel Jones.
And Daniel Jones in the offseason.
When they could have
haven't got neither one of them.
Where they could have had Jaden Daniels and Saquon.
Oh boy, that's just...
they literally could have had and the thing about it is that whole the way that whole thing played out, it played out on national TV because Hard Knocks caught the whole thing.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
He said, he said if Saquon goes to Philly, I'm gonna be sick.
I'm gonna have some sleepless nights. You heard what he said about that now, like how they were talking about him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mara said, "Y'all should have had me in the commercial." He was like, "It would have been a better commercial."
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So that's all he had to say, which was, you know what I'm saying? That was classy. You know what I mean? But hey, thank you. You know what I'm saying? That, like, what you see is what would have happened when we had anybody. Miles Sanders benefited from it. DeAndre Swift benefited from it. You know what I'm saying? And now you're seeing.
You gotta hope. Hurts is able to run a little bit. Because
I don't think so.
his threat of running helps your running game. He helps Saquon because you have to hold the outside in case Jalen Hurts runs to the outside. So if they see by the first quarter he can't run, Dan Quinn gonna change up the defense and it's gonna be something different.
Mm-hmm.
So he gotta run the ball. Even if he can't, he gotta show he will at least try.
He's willing
to do
to.
it. Yeah. He can't just sit back there.
Yeah.
All righty, good people. I'm gonna get out of here.
Wait a minute, who you picking to win tomorrow, Mark? Be honest. Come on.
No, I can't, because see what happens is it seems like whoever I root for loses.
So he's rooting for the Eagles then.
That's Troy. That's who you would rather see lose. You would rather see the Commanders win.
I'd rather see the Commanders than the Bills play again.
Yeah,
they've played once before in the Super Bowl.
And then the Bills beating the Commanders.
I would like to see the Cowboys and the Bills play because the Bills have never played the Eagles in the Super Bowl because they already played the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Washington in the Super Bowl. The Bills, the Eagles will be the fourth team that the Bills will probably play in the Super Bowl if it were to happen.
I don't want that to
the Bills win tomorrow and the Eagles win tomorrow, it'd be their first meeting in the Super Bowl. That would be the Bills would play all four NFC East teams.
The Bills lose against NFC and East in the Super Bowl, so we don't.
Yeah, we beat them.
So either one go against them. They.
Yeah, we beat them last year, but the other thing
I'm ready for next year.
I think it'll be Philadelphia and Kansas City because the NFL is going to want to see Taylor Swift and her suite,
of course,
in the Super Bowl.
Oh, she needs to leave the country. We're sick of her.
We'll see. That's it.
I can't stand Taylor Swift. I just don't like her. It's like, get her out of there. Even my brother hates Taylor Swift. Like, I don't think her music is that good.
Kanye West.
Okay.
We have Kanye West to blame. Okay, it's time to go.
It's time.
But we have Kanye West for to blame.
Sanity.
I'm trying to get over here. Y'all keep talking.
I gotta get out of here. I've gotta get out of here. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Stewardess, please let me handle this.
I've gotta get
Calm down. Now get back to your seat. I'll take care of this. Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Doctor, you're one on the phone. Everything's gonna be all right. Please.
Sister, please, I'll handle this.
Yourself.